This is going to be one of the most positive Fortnite videos you have ever seen. Hey, howdy, how's it going? My name is Bennjipie. I've gotten a lot of comments recently from my videos giving criticism, okay, on Fortnite. I've been told to stop playing the game. I've been called a yapper. I've been said to be crying in my videos. But we aren't doing that anymore. I'm going to give every positive thought and bit of credit to Fortnite. From game modes to gameplay, the item shop, to your locker. We are going to find every good thing to take away from all of Fortnite. I also got this idea from Bennjipie in my Discord server. Link will be in the description if you want to join. It's always there. Okay, so we're in the thick of it now, talking about all of this, and I had already recorded this, sort of. Explain to me why when I go to listen to it, it doesn't work, it didn't work. I think my mic was muted or something, I don't know what the hell happens. Also, it's hot in my room, so if you hear my fan, that's not my fault, it's the heat. That's its fault. But anyways, first things first, we have the entire Battle Royale, the thing that started Fortnite. Okay, this is the thing that I fell in love with, it's the thing that most people fell in love with. I fell in love with it, you fell in love with it, a lot of people fell in love with it, a lot of kids probably did not if they're like 5 right now, or they play 0 builds, you know, there's options there, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of things that have happened overall for Fortnite, just Battle Royale. When I think of Fortnite, I think of the Battle Royale. Sorry, Save the World, but you're an afterthought, you're the second thought. Battle Royale, Fortnite, you know, just the Battle Royale genre, it all comes to mind, building, all that stuff, that is what Battle Royale is. And one of the greatest things of the entire Battle Royale, especially during Chapter 1, I know, I'm an advocate for the OG bits of it, but it was because of how fun it was, how good it was, how many updates we got, how much content there was. And all of Chapter 1 was extremely long, so that's sort of why I'm saying that. But this isn't just about Chapter 1. But I will say, Chapter 1 had a lot of content. Understand, though, other chapters expanded on a lot of the ideas that we have had. As an example, every single chapter, we get an entirely new loot pool, which is insane. Besides, you know, Chapter 1 to 2, the weapons just look a little bit different. I guess that's the only, you know, exception. But one thing that's really easily able to be pointed out in the newer chapters, especially, we've gotten a lot of new movement. Usually it ends up being every season, it's a different type of movement. You have the kinetic blade, you have the gravity hammer, the rocket ram. In this current season that we are in, you had the Icarus wings, you had the grapple blade, the jetpack, and nitro fists. Now, some of these may have been broken at certain times, but they get reworked, they get changed, they get nerfed to the ground. Sometimes they're a little bit too broken still, regardless of anything that you do to it, but I still think that these are really, really good. I love all of the items that get added, every weapon that gets added. My favorite thing was in Chapter 1 of seeing just random little animations that they did for trailers, like the hand cannon, mini shields. Actually, that might have been the, what do you call it? The guided rocket. Totally forgot about that. They have never brought that back. That's got to be an engine thing, honestly. But that gun was also really cool too. That trailer was awesome for it. But constantly, we were given new items for all of Chapter 1. It would be random. You know, you get the purple burst and gold. We got the new pump designs. Things like that that really were just like, holy shit, this is a bunch of stuff. And it was so much fun. In the current season that we're in the current chapter, we've seen a lot of guns sort of make a return. We've seen attachments be added in this chapter, which really spices up the gunplay, which is really fun. And over time as well, we've seen, you know, mythic guns, exotics, heisted weapons. A lot of these are currently in reload, which is really fun to mess with. And overall, there's just a good blend between what weapons you can use and what weapons you could have been able to use in previous seasons and or chapters. The weapons themselves and things like that haven't changed much in terms of, you know, the basic assault rifle. You know, that's always been there. But Fortnite's been very good about updating, you know, the actual combat. We went from just straight bloom to eventually receiving first shot accuracy, which if you don't know, bloom, every single time you shoot, it blooms like a flower, gets a little bit bigger, your accuracy is less, and with first shot accuracy, if you waited a second, every single time you waited and you sat there and aimed, the plus would become a perfect plus, which meant the first shot was guaranteed to hit exactly where that, you know, center dot was, which is great. And then now we have, you know, like red dot sights and stuff like that, sniper scopes, and that's great. I know I had brought up attachments. Attachments are good. You could just stick anything on anywhere and it works. No complaints there. And the one last thing that, you know, with weapons and items being added, in this current chapter, we've gotten a new sort of thing. I guess it's new. It's newer than a lot of stuff. Medallions. Medallions, when they first came out, were extremely broken. They got reworked, you know, they got, you know, toned down. You had to have a certain amount for it to give you a certain amount, you know. I think it was if you carried one, it only gave you like 60 shield, and the more you carried, the more shield you got. But originally, it was super, super good. Then they fixed it. Then, after Season 1, we have received medallions that just have abilities like Siphon, the ability to have souls. I think it's gone now, but we had the birthday balloon medallion, which gave you a balloon every like couple seconds or something like that, which was pretty cool. I saw people do like a bubble strat where they threw a bubble junior on it and ran. That was pretty cool. I hope they make that like an actual like concept or something. And you know, besides the weapons and items being added, we've had traps and things like that. We've had a bunch. We had things like bouncers, which were pretty fun, but we've also had a lot of building improvements. You know, the servers weren't really the greatest at first, and it made building really bad, and then they improved them. Servers got better, so building felt better. And then something that I don't think many people realize, you used to not be able to build everywhere. Okay, you can now. You can build quite literally anywhere unless there's enough stuff in the way, but now you can build over, say, a trash can, a tree, and things like that. You used to not be able to do that, which is crazy. I know Ninja was very upset about it.
I had a fucking jump pad that I could have used, man. Those kids were so fucking bad, dude. I'm so fucking dumb, dude. I'm done with this game, man. It's so fucking bad, dude. It's so bad, man. Are you kidding me? I couldn't build because of this stupid fucking crate, dude? The metal crate, are you kidding me, dude?
We've gotten things like added on release, you know, turbo building being added. They nerfed it, and then they actually reverted the nerf because people are so upset. I wonder what would happen if they do that now.
Oh my God, dude!
And then they've also made it so building and stuff like that is just much more accurate and specific in where you're looking, and it makes it feel more fluid and better to build. We've also had a lot of map changes because every single chapter is a new map, but in that time, we usually get a new biome, a new area. We've gotten things like volcanoes and, you know, big ass grim gate areas in the current season, you know, the Greek mythology area, the wasteland, Doom's little biome. There's just a regular forest as well. And yeah, the desert, I don't know. But it really makes the map feel alive, you know? It makes everything look super good with the graphics and everything. The map just, especially for Chapter 5, just looks solid. And I've sort of already talked about it. You already get it. But we've gotten constant updates throughout the entire lifespan of Fortnite. This season, there's been 2 major updates. We had the Doom Island, which isn't available now, but it was, at least at the time of the recording this, it was pretty cool. I never got to use it because it was rare, but, you know, that was just a balancing thing. On top of that, we got the Black Panther Claws and Gwenpool's Mythic, which those are pretty fun to use. Then in the next update, we have all of the Iron Man stuff be added, like his, you know, his gauntlets, his boots, and then you have the Stark rifle. I think that was it. But something that I don't think many people realize is that, at least during like the very, very early years of Fortnite, it was almost like every 2-3 weeks that we were getting an update, and that made the game feel very new. It felt very fresh, and it felt, you know, just nice to play. It was always nice to know that you had something to look forward to in terms of maybe the next day something new is coming out, or within a week there was a new item that was going to pop up. It could have been something small like mini shields, or literally anything. You never knew. Something I actually really enjoyed is when last season for Wrecked we had Metallica be a collab, but they introduced it into the Battle Royale. This was amazing. Being able to use the guitar, the little lightning guitar, so much fun. I love Metallica, so that makes it a little bit better. It played Ride the Lightning as the song. Super freaking cool. And another thing to point out is that they do hot fixes pretty often, and we get updates, you know, still. That hasn't stopped. And they balance the weapons, they nerf them, they buff them, you know, whatever needs to happen for the game. Now we have the Battle Pass, and I think the Battle Pass deserves its own section because it's one of the main points of Fortnite. When I think of Fortnite, I know I said I think of the Battle Royale and stuff, but the Battle Pass is one of those things that I constantly have on my mind. The Battle Pass has, no matter what, always been a bargain. It's always been perfected in terms of Fortnite. Fortnite made it the best way it possibly can be. Something that's been great about the Battle Pass is that it's existed for almost the entire bit of Fortnite's, you know, lifetime. And no matter what, it has always been 950 V-Bucks. And with that purchase, you would always get those V-Bucks and a little bit extra back, which was perfect for any consumer or player. You were getting a bunch of items that were legendaries and epics and really well-crafted skins, to the point where they would probably be $20, $15 if you threw it in the item shop. So it's just a bargain. Other games have done the Battle Pass system, but don't exactly do it the greatest in terms of giving you your in-game currency back, giving you the right items and weapons and things like that. So a lot of time they cheap you out on it. Okay, you have things like Call of Duty, which has sort of ruined it. There's like a premium version of the Battle Pass, which you have to spend real life money if you want to get it. Things like that is something that Fortnite has never done, and I'm really glad for that. And yes, there is FOMO, at least, you know, there was, but now we have it where a lot of the in-game things of the Battle Pass, like a lot of those items, are not going to stay just in that Battle Pass forever. 18 months after this battle pass ends, we will see the return of a lot of the skins and things like that come back later, which is perfect. Something to also note is that if you really don't have the time to play, you can always buy the bundles to, get a little bit extra, and then you can also just buy enough tiers on your own time. We also have things like super styles, bonus styles, quest rewards, all of that stuff. There's a bunch of weekly quests and things like that in Fortnite that just make it feel like there's so much more to do and more to grind. One thing to also acknowledge here is that Fortnite made a great decision in the first couple, I think it was the first year of Fortnite being out. They made it so that your in-game level compared to your battle pass level merged together, so that you basically didn't need to worry about either or. They were connected, and you just never noticed ever since then. And now there's a couple extra battle passes, okay, and they've all been priced a little bit differently, but you have the things like the mini battle pass, which consists of usually a collab or something. It also has a skin, sometimes a little maybe extra skins, extra emotes. There's always some content in there. You can always get it if optional. I think a lot of the things that are in those mini battle passes end up coming back into the item shop, which is good. So if you don't want to spend the 1,000 or you didn't have the time, you can always buy stuff later. And then we have the Lego pass, which is 1,400 V-Bucks, and it just gives you a bunch of decorations and building stuff. And last time I think we had Star Wars. This time we have something with Peely. It gives you a skin each time. Really fun. If you play Lego, I think this is the thing that you'll very much love. And now we have the Festival Pass, which that's 1,800 V-Bucks, but I do think it's very reasonable because you have a lot of music tracks and designs of different instruments and things like that. Sometimes you have a bunch of people in a band, or you have one character that is, it's an icon skin. So it makes sense to have the 1,800 V-Bucks there because you're getting a lot out of it. You're also getting a lot of popular songs with those jam tracks. So that's always something to keep in mind. And for me, I really love playing Rock Band. So I've always enjoyed playing Music Festival and stuff because it's just, I've basically grown up playing it. Now, something I will say here is that there is a thing called the Rocket Pass. This is a part of Rocket League, and sadly, you can't exactly, use that stuff from the Rocket Pass in Fortnite. There's a lot of issues there. Rocket Racing just does not have its own battle pass sort of thing, so that is something that I can't exactly talk on. I hope in the future they do something like that, where they merge it or they make something new. Who knows? I do think that Rocket Racing needs something though. And now we have the game modes. There is a lot that factors into this. Okay, we have LTMs. There's things like 50 versus 50, close encounters, one shot. That's really all I can think of right now. But there was a lot of LTMs that they created in the early years of Fortnite, and then they continued to use in the future, which was great. But we also have a couple different things here. All right, we have Rocket Racing, we have Lego, we have Music Festival. Music Festival also has Battle Stage and Jam Stage. Then we have Reload. And then last of all, there's Creative. Creative has a lot more involved with that, so we're going to get into that last. But for the LTMs, okay, the early years of Fortnite with just LTMs, you just experienced a different version of Fortnite. I think they had one that was called Blitz, where you constantly respawn. You were able to get launch pads and things like that, I think, more frequently. I think also getting materials was easier. And then we have, very simple ones that they've brought back numerous times, like Solid Gold, or The Floor is Lava. Very great, very fun, very self-explanatory, very easy to play, and very fun to play with friends. And now, I know I'm going to be talking about the side game modes and stuff, and I know that, Save the World is a thing that exists. I do suggest that in the top right here, you watch that video. That talks all about Save the World. It deserves its own video because it is one of the main parts of Fortnite that is very undermined, and I know that I'm sort of going to do that in this video, but people don't necessarily understand it, so there's no point in talking about it. Here, go watch that video. First things first is Rocket Racing. It's a racing game, all right? And everyone loves racing. It's very fun. You get your cars. You can use those cars in the Battle Royale, which is fun. You have your boosters and your trails and all that sort of stuff, and that is really cool. I love the designs and everything. I love being able to rank up. There's a lot of stuff that they put into in terms of updating Rocket Racing, which makes it even more fun. There's a lot of, I think people can make maps for it now, if I'm not mistaken. They've also just added a bunch of new maps in terms of overtime since the very first season or whatever you want to call it. Then we have Lego. Lego Fortnite is supposed to be basically Fortnite's take, or Fortnite and Lego's take on Minecraft, and it does it pretty well. I've enjoyed it a lot. I played it a lot when it first came out. It was a lot of fun, okay? And it's very simple, all right? But you're not really dealing with other people besides your friends. And one thing that they did very well in Lego Fortnite that I don't think people really give as much props as they should is the ability to let other people host your world. So you can create the world, but you can give 8 different people a key, which a key basically allows them to load in even if you're not online, which is something that Minecraft makes you pay for, and that's realms, which is crazy to me. But overall, Lego is fun. I think Lego is really, really fun when you play with other people, and you know, they just keep updating it. They actually came out with some newer stuff recently. It might be almost over with Peely, but gives a bunch of content. It has its own Lego pass. Really fun. Then we have Music Festival. Like I had brought up before, Rock Band. Okay, I love Rock Band. Rock Band is very fun. It's something I've always enjoyed playing. This is, I think Epic Games had bought the company that made those games, which is cool, and they have not failed. All right, being able to use your Fortnite character here and being able to have custom instruments and things like that of how they look is really, really fun. You can also change it so that you can have the custom colors, so you know, it's like red, blue, green, and yellow, which is really cool. I do really enjoy like the pre-game lobby and things like that. You know, you also have battle stage and jam stage, which jam stage, you sit there AFK. I don't think a single person plays and actually, you know, jams with people. But for battle stage, it's really fun being able to like battle other people with the same song. Everyone's listening to the same song. You can play whatever instrument on whatever difficulty. Winning that is always really fun. I've won it a couple times. It's dope. But I will say that if you are someone who is really good at piano tiles, you probably really like Rock Band, which means you like Music Festival. Now for me, I really enjoyed playing Warzone Rebirth, which is the same sort of idea in terms of Fortnite Reload. Reload is really, really fun. It has all the OG stuff to it, which makes it really fun for me to play. I think it came out during a perfect point in Fortnite where we kind of just needed it, and it was really fun to play. I'm glad we got a new game mode finally. The trailer was also really funny for it, but everything that they're doing with Reload is honestly pretty good. And alright, we have creative. Okay, creative is very important here. Creative has so much involved in it that, I mean, look at all the maps that we've seen. You have the awesome, really, really cool, interesting maps that they've added over time. And it's not Fortnite adding them, it's people who have made them, which is super insane. And then you have the really good tycoon maps, and then all of the red versus blue maps, or, you know, hero versus villains, and, you know, that sort of thing. And it's so much fun. It really, you know, it makes you feel like you're playing Roblox, and it feels really fun to play with friends. And the main reason that this is possible is because you have things like UEFN or Creative 2.0. I think those are the same thing. You know, that's the more newer stuff for what Fortnite can do now with creative. And overall, just it allows there to be a lot of new content for people that don't exactly want to play the Battle Royale, which I think is perfect. And now we have the item shop. Okay, this is something that I don't think people will ever truly acknowledge and give the utmost amount of credit and like praise. Okay, for a very long time we had just the featured and the daily section, okay? And this changed, all right? This changed over time. Now we see a bunch of collabs, you know, Marvel, icon skins, DC, Star Wars. There's a bunch of stuff that's in there all the time, and it's really cool to see all the collab skins. It means that Fortnite's making a bunch of money, and that's awesome. That puts more money into the game, which is great. I've also enjoyed seeing that, you know, certain items, or really any item, if you want to know when it's going to leave the shop, you can go to the item shop, look under it, and it tells you exactly the date when it's going to leave, which is super cool. Something that makes the Fortnite item shop really shine is all of the collabs and icon skins, the icon emotes. They're always really funny and clever. I always love them. You know, it's always like TikTok sounds and stuff like that, and that's super fun. But it's nice to see those more than the actual Fortnite emotes and skins, because no one really likes those anyways. Everyone just loves the collabs, let's be honest. And if you're ever in the shop and you want to buy something and you don't already use anyone else's, use my creator code. It's Bennjipie in all caps right here on front of the screen. It's right in front of your face. You want to put that in. And something to also point out here is, you know, with the extra modes that have been added, the Fortnite item shop has improved in the sense of now we have the Lego pass, the festival pass, we have all of the rocket racing cars, we have all of the jam tracks, we have Lego sets that you can build that cost just as much as in real life, and it's perfect. I honestly love it. I think they've set it up perfectly. Everything blends together, you know, removing rarities and stuff like that. It was very sloppy. It just made it kind of feel all wishy-washy. Now it is perfect. And now we have the locker. Okay, like I had said before with the removal of rarities, I think that makes the locker look 30 times better, and honestly could be 40 times. It really doesn't matter. It is a lot better now. And with just the UI itself of, you know, your emotes having a different section, your skin having a different section, all of it together is great. And originally, we didn't even have back blings, and that was something that was added. You know, the way that the original locker used to look like, everything was all together. You saw everything that you had and owned. There wasn't different areas to swipe, but, you know, that wasn't perfect, okay? The thing that we have now is really good. I love it. You know, with the removal of rarities, it makes it so that you see your Star Wars, your Iron Man, your Batman skins, you know, all that sort of stuff, the DC and Marvel. You see a bunch of unique things out here, and there's no point in seeing legendary epic. That just gets in the way. The ABC order is 5 times better, okay? And I love having, you know, Lego and Rocket Racing, the jam tracks, all in different sections as well. That, you know, really fills it up. It makes it feel, you know, quite, I mean, full. That's really the only way you can put it. But everything blends together. I think that's really what I'm looking for here. It just blends so well. Alright, if you couldn't tell, this video is a bit of a joke, and it's something that I'm also not going to do probably ever again. Now, I remember, you know, before my shit had stopped working, what I had talked about, this was probably the longest part in the whole entire video, in which there's a couple other things as well. You know, thank you guys for 12,000 subs. We were at 11,000 like a week ago. We're just booming. It's insane to see. I'll make sure to post more often. I've been a little busy, you know, in personal life, so that's why I really haven't been getting. But yeah, clearly this is satirical. If you're someone who watched up until this point and you were hoping that there was a joke, I'm glad I met your expectations, because honestly, you can do that, what I just did, where you can say, hey, look at how awesome all these things are, and you can ignore every single issue, and that's fine. You can do that, but that legitimately does not fix anything. As an example, the locker, the last thing that we talked about, it is very clustered and all over the place, and you know, removing the rarities was not cool. They just wanted to do that to overprice skins. It's done intentionally, okay? And things like Lego, you know, stuff like that was interesting when it first came out, but they rushed it. And that's not the devs, that's the higher ups, okay? The higher ups rush the content. And that just makes it not good, because it was rushed, it looked like a skeleton, it had no meat on its bones, and now we are at the point where it's starting to get a little bit of meat on there. It's not really good. It's sort of like those thin pieces of wings, or like the really, really tiny ones. It's not those big, bulky, hefty ones. If you're fat, you know what I'm talking about. I'm fat. I love wings. Wings are great. If you go to Wingstop, I'm not going to get off track, but, you know, mild and buffalo, I love those. Get ranch. I know some people like blue cheese, sorry. But yeah, honestly, it's never the dev's fault. It could partially some of the time be, you know, certain things like that, but I think overall it's not. I know it's the higher ups. There's a lot of filters. It's a lot of going through one person to another group of people, to the managing, the people who see over these groups of people. It's a bunch of shit. And if one person says no, or says that they don't want to, it throws the whole thing out of whack. Understand that it's not the devs' fault, okay? So when you know, I have said Epic is lazy, it's not the devs. It's, you know, it's a mixture. It's overwork so that they need to do lazy things, and it's just a mixture. It's not good. It's not great, and I don't personally like it. But yeah, there's a lot of people who have said, you know, of course, why wouldn't they want to do all these cool things that they're doing? Like, as an example, all of the events that we have had weren't really that interesting. Chapter OG's event was literally just a way to shout out the stuff that they're currently working on, like Music Festival, in which you have some people who will say, yeah, that, you know, why wouldn't they do that? They had 2 million players watch the event. Of course they're going to do that. They could have stayed true to home in what they were already doing and just have given a good event, something, instead of just reusing the same shit. The event, you know, it was cool. I'm not going to say that's not, all right? All of, you know, even OG Fortnite. OG Fortnite was amazing. I know I've said, you know, lacks graphics, all that stuff. You know, Reload, saying I don't like the Mammoth Pistol, all that stuff. My thoughts have changed, all right? It doesn't fucking matter. I just played a little bit more. But I also can understand, you know, for saying OG Fortnite wasn't as good as it could have been. Listen, it could have been a one-to-one recreation. We have seen people create creative maps that look even better than OG Fortnite, but it's never going to be exact until the actual company does it. But understand, okay, that OG Fortnite could have been better, but I didn't enjoy it. Playing it with friends, seeing friends that I had played with like in middle school get back on was absolutely insane. That was the perfect time of Fortnite. But with the event, it could have been an event that actually furthered the story, but that's never going to happen because the story is ran by business people. That's really all it is. Donald Mustard is gone. If you are someone who really wants the old Fortnite back, that's probably never going to happen. And me talking about all of this, it's sort of just a way for people to kind of, you know, acknowledge it. It doesn't change much. If this video got 3 million views, potentially, but that's never gonna fucking happen. Fortnite isn't necessarily hoping to change. They like what they're doing. They're making a bunch of money that way. They make money through their collabs. They make money through everything but really doing Fortnite content, in which some people will say, oh, but all of the stuff that we've gotten this year and this chapter and all this and that. It's like, well, no one, you know, change for the sake of change isn't exactly the greatest thing. No one really asks for a lot of that stuff. We just ask for sort of a simplistic view but also actual Fortnite. Fortnite is the art style. Fortnite is the Fortnite characters. Fortnite is not Marvel. Fortnite is not Disney. Fortnite is not Pixar with The Incredibles. All right. It is, you know, Jonesy. It's Drift. It's this dinosaur person, the Rainbow Bomb Raider, whatever her name is, Renegade Raider, Skull Trooper. That is Fortnite, and also, you know, Ray and people like that. But that's more or less Save the World. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah, overall, like I had just did, you can acknowledge a lot of those issues, and it makes for change. If I just say I loved OG Fortnite, it can never improve, because if everyone says good job, they think that they can do the same thing again. That's pretty much where I come from with it. Yeah, that's really the main takeaway here. Understand that don't congratulate billion-dollar companies for doing less than what they should be doing. And I bet, you know, paying the devs more, giving them more time would probably do that, but they're never going to do that, because guess what? CEOs and people want to make a lot of money. That's all they really care about. Fuck you. You are the player base. You are the consumer. You are the consumer. You're not the player. You're the consumer. It's not gamers making a game. It's business people. But all right, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys have a great day, night, week, month, whole rest of the year. It doesn't really matter when it is, but I hope that's great for you guys, though. See ya.